Okay, and welcome, and here's the video that you've all been waiting for, the scripts. Everyone wants the scripts, the copy and paste the scripts. So here they are. So I promise you that I'll give you some fantastic scripts that you can literally copy and paste, either drop directly into LinkedIn or into the connection tool that I have recommended to you. Do these and your connection requests will be accepted and you will get into conversations or get you meetings very, very quickly. So there are hundreds of people out there teaching LinkedIn lead generation or how to be an expert at LinkedIn. I don't want you, or I don't think you really want to yourselves be an expert in LinkedIn. What you want to do is to spend a bare minimum amount of time or a valid amount of time with the highest output. And these scripts are going to allow you to do that. So jump straight in. The first thing you need to do is the opener. If you've used the connection tool that I recommended to you, it takes care of that. Keep it simple. So, hi, first name. I came across your profile while researching independent consultants and would love to connect. If I can help in any way, please ask. That's all you need to do. I came across your profile while researching VP of Sales. I came across your profile while researching manufacturing managing directors. It's all you need to do. So that one there will get you at least 40% acceptance on your connection. So here, it's also, look, if I can help in any way, please ask. So it's an open invitation. It's an invite for them to reply to you. Doesn't matter for us if they don't, because we have a second step. So this is step one, your opener script. There's a couple of variations for that. So here is one that I've got. So same basic structure. So, hi John, your profile caught my eye while browsing independent consultants. I thought I'd reach out to connect. I also noticed you attended Cardiff University. I'm curious what you thought of your time there. So here I'm leveraging this. For me, this was a test leveraging a shared connection. So I went to Cardiff University. So within LinkedIn, you can search for all of the things that I'm going to show you in the Boolean search and how to create in-depth searches. And you can also search for, say, independent consultants that are self-employed that went to Cardiff University. So we have a touch point. So theoretically, that will increase the level of engagement. However, my finding is you really don't need to do that. If you stick to something nice and simple like this, that is all you need to do. So you don't need to overly complicate it. However, you can do that. You could also say, if it's very specifically that you're looking for people that, I could be looking for consultants who are independent, who are listed as solo consultants that used to work for KPMG. If that was something that I was doing in my marketing campaign. So I also noticed you used to work at KPMG. I'm curious what you thought of your time there. So it's a conversation starter. It's an opener. So again, a third one. So I came across your name here on LinkedIn while I was looking for VPs of sales to connect and network with. I was impressed with what I saw and would love to connect directly if you're up for it. Cheers. So a slightly different variation, not necessarily the language that I would use personally. However, it's not, up to me, it's what you like. Basic scripts like this get results. Don't need to keep it overly complex or fancy. When people respond, this is the situational script that I send. So what I mean by that is, so they accept our request. If you're using the connection tool that I've given you, you can set it that within a couple of hours, 24 hours, 48 hours, that they will automatically get another message. So I use this one. So, hi, first name, great to be a new connection. I'm always curious, how do you or your business generate new business? What's working right now? So I'll break this down for you. So, it's a acknowledgement that they've accepted your connection request. I'm always curious. I tend to use this a lot. People engage with people that are curious. And also, it's a sign that, you know, you're going to ask a question. Hey, you know, I was curious, which is a lead in to I'm going to ask a question. So how do you or your business generate new business? So here, I haven't defined my Boolean searches well enough in some regards. I could do to know if it's purely an individual or if they work in a business. So I've covered myself there by how do you or your business generate new business. And that's quite a leading question. So I've also added in a second question, you don't have to, is what's working right now? Because the reality is with smaller independent consultants, the reality is they answer this part with, to be honest, nothing's really working right now. So I get a lot, you know, a lot of the consultants are either in long-term contracts or it's a lot of word or mouth. So they, you know, they really open up and they're happy to tell me what's working, and that's great because I'm learning about the marketplace. Or they're telling me, well, actually, nothing's really working for me right now, or I'm not being very proactive. So you have the first introduction, then you have the first situational script. I'm going to give you a couple of alternatives. So I don't like these personally. I think these were the style that were developed by a guy called John Nemo, a really nice guy by all accounts, a very, very well-known book and training program on LinkedIn. But, you know, a lot of people are using this approach. So, you know, it's like way too pitching for me. Thanks so much for connecting with me here on LinkedIn. I'm curious to hear more about your consulting work. Hit reply and tell me about what you're up to, how things are going, and what type of audiences you serve. The reason I ask is that I work with a ton of consultants, so I'm always curious to learn more about what's working or what isn't right now in the space. Real quick, computer. Real quick about me. I help consultants get a predictable revenue, access to C-level executives by providing my fantastic resource. And this is why I don't like it. But I've given it here in the workbook so you can either try it yourself, because, you know, this is quite a well-respected LinkedIn, or a couple of well-respected LinkedIn experts' viewpoint is this is the perfect follow-up. I would never do it personally, but, you know, I trust that you're, you know, you're mature and adult enough to make your own choice and even test these things. But their process here is, you know, there's a couple of people doing this. So you send this. Then they reply back to those questions. Then you send another message that says, hey, can I send you some content, basically? Can I send you some information about my blog? Can I send you information about my webinar? They reply to that, and then you send them the link to the content. But for me, that's way too slow, and, you know, there's no point to it. And there's a couple of variations. You know, hi, first name, hope this finds you well. You know, straight into, would you be interested in grabbing coffee? So I put them here in the manual, but, you know, I want to reiterate, they are for you to review to see if they hit your style. They are not my style. They are not what I recommend for you. If you think that it's going to work better for your style, and more importantly, the style of your audience, then do it. So what you need to do, the action point, is write 5 intros and 5 possible follow-ups. So a reminder, an intro is here. Yeah, can you make 5 variations? Is there a technology? So I came across your profile while researching their job title or their industry. Could you do a version of this where you have some mutual touch points? You can even see what soccer team or what American football team they support, what technology the company is using. So see if you can come to 5 different ones. The reality is 80% will always fall within one of them of the work that you do. But try 5. It's a brain teaser. And then can you do 5 variations of your first situational script? So you send the connection, they connect, and then either automatically or manually, generally automatically, this situational script goes out. So thanks for the connection. I'm always curious, what are you doing in your business right now? And of course, what I didn't say is this should be pain related. This should be, if you go back to week 1, this is all about the pain to the glory exercise. Okay, cool. And then people start responding. You start getting engagement, and that's the fantastic thing. So don't be worried about that. So what do you do with that? So once you've got your 5 intros, your 5 situational follow-ups, think about a conversation flow. you will never really be sending more than 2 to 3 lines of message. You don't need those long conversation flows. Follow the SPIR formula at all times, and this is how the conversation flow goes. Start off with a situation. So you've asked that situation in the first email post contact. You may have to ask a second one. So in the example, one of the example case study videos that follows, I've shown you one where actually my first post connection message wasn't how do you win your clients, it was who are your clients, or who are your ideal clients, and then they've responded. And then I've asked another situational question, is what is your plan to get new clients? So you may have to ask one or two. So here it would be, who are your ideal clients? What is your plan to win them? So here's what you need to do. So you've got your situation. Once they've answered that, they're likely to come up with a bucket of standard responses. So take this template from the manual and fill it in, thinking about how people are going to engage with you. It works within LinkedIn. It's going to work within the cold email that you may be doing as well. So how do you win new clients? Who are your ideal clients? What is your plan to win them? So how do you win new clients? I do it by networking. I do it by referrals. I do a lot of associate work. I get a lot of word of mouth, etc., etc. These are the type of things that I hear from my target audience, which is solo consultants. So I think about this. So these are my conversation threads. If someone then says to me any of these, I know the next phase, which is the pain. So it's, again, a short question aimed at highlighting the pain. So does that provide you with prospects at the right seniority in the business? So that might be referrals or network. So does that provide the predictability of new revenue? Does that provide you with the deal sizes that you're looking for? For example, associate work is not necessarily big deal size. Does that bring new business, i.e. cash flow, quick enough for you? Networking can be a long, slow process. Okay, cool. So I've got a general idea about how I can manage most of these conversation threads and really get to the pain point. Does that mean you work on a reasonably low day rate? If someone says that they do a lot of, I'm working, I don't need to accept any more work. I'm working 20 days a week at the moment because I do a lot of associate work. I know my audience well enough to know that actually most associate work can be on very low day rates. So that could be, does that mean you work on a reasonably low day rate? Does that mean you have an income cap that you can't break out of? Because if you're being paid £300 a day, and you can only work 15 days a month, there's no matter what you do, you can never break out of that. Okay, so once you've developed your pain questions, you can then begin to develop how you think people will answer them. So no, I tend to do a lot of pitching to managers and can't get access high up in a company, i.e. if they've said, maybe referrals or networking, or inbound is another one. I use a lot of inbound marketing. It tends to get you into sort of middle management level. I use a lot of... Okay, so that would be, does that provide you with prospects of the right seniority in the business? They could potentially answer that. No, I tend to do a lot of pitching to managers, can't get access high enough in a company. So now I'm kind of getting down to the crux of the issue. So no, it doesn't give me the predictability. It's a bit hit and miss. I'm reliant on someone else. Okay, so now I can start thinking, where am I going to take this as well? So does that bring new business cash flow quick enough for you? No, that takes way too long. I want clients right now, but I just don't know how to do it. So now you have to see how people can respond to the pain question. So at that point, depending on how comfortable you are, you can move into the implication. So especially when you're starting out. One, you can miss the implication altogether and go straight into the results offer. Or if you feel confident, because the implication is the hardest one, is what people feel the least capable of doing. I think you can do it. I'm absolutely positive you can do it. But it's your confidence level that's going to determine this, because these are the hard questions that most people won't ask. So if you think it's something like this, does that mean you work on a reasonably low day rate? Yes, it does, actually. I do so much associate work at £300 a day that it's impossible to hit my income goals. Okay, so I'm curious, Steve. So what does that mean for you right now? So you'd also you could preface this with thanks for the answer. I thought that may be the case, or I'll put that down by here. I hear that a lot, because you're acknowledging one, that they're not alone. You're saying thanks for them for being open. So thanks for the answer. I thought that may be the case, actually. Look, I'm curious, what does that mean for you right now? So I'm curious, what's the implication if it carries on that way? Like I said, that's quite a hard question. I recommend you at least move to this level a couple of times and then try the implication. Once they've answered that, now you are a position to go into your results offer. So here, once they start answering questions at that level, transition into the offer. So unlike most people, as soon as someone connects, they make an offer straight away. And that's a terrible way to do it. So here, you go through a series of short questions. Look, and people will drop out at certain phases, but that's okay, because the reality of this program is how to get your next 5 clients, but then it's a repeatable system after. As a consultant, you're not after thousands of clients. You're looking for ideal clients who are engaged, and generally ones who are in that more aware part of the spectrum of the marketplace, the 10 to 20% that are aware. So it doesn't matter if people fall out, and if they do, you can re-engage them. It's not the end of the world. So now you transition to the offer. The offer is really nice and simple. It makes sense. So thanks, Jane. I thought that may be the case. I hear that a lot if you haven't used it up here. Look, I have a few proven systems that will help you get lead generation nailed immediately, and then proactively go out and win new ideal clients without relying on a network or book or potentially even cold calling. So would you be interested in chatting? And I will help you. So when we do this, obviously there's spaces here. So there's a couple of things here. So thanks, name. I thought that I have a few proven systems. So that's kind of the holy grail, isn't it? Everyone wants a proven system. You should have identified what your proven system is by now. For me, I could probably tighten this up. So I could even make it better. So I'm doing some testing myself. So for me, this is a little bit about a process rather than the results. So I could tighten that up, but so it's what you're going to help them with. So remember the pain to the glory exercise immediately, and then proactively go out and win your ideal clients. So I could, because my program, if you like, is then proactively go out and win your next 5 consulting clients. And I think I'm probably going to change it to that now, because that's what the program is. It's winning your next 5 consulting clients. And then it's an old copywriting formula, which is doing it without the things they hate. So without relying on a network, a book, or even potentially cold calling. And this one, if you look at the case study number 1, This is from a real life conversation, and that consultant was going to wait a year before he did any lead gen until he created his book, which for me is lunacy. And I've just now got to convince him that it's maybe not the best solution as well. But you can then amend this results offer straight into what people are telling you, and that's the beauty of this. It's very, very easy. So if you think about it, you've got a series of questions. You've got one, possibly two situation questions. Don't get drawn off track either. So here's a key tip. People start asking you questions back about what services do you offer, or, you know, I get lots of different questions. I always stick to the process. I acknowledge sometimes that they've asked different questions, or they've gone off, you know, they're asking me what services do I offer, what experience do I have. But stick to your process. Just because someone asks you a question in return doesn't mean that you have to ask it. So you've got your connection, your situation, possibly two situations, the pain question, the implication, and then the results offer. Nice and easy. Go and have a look at the case study videos. You should be able to, if you want to, create this messaging script. Use the connection messenger technology that I give you. This should easily be able to create 15, 20, 25 meetings a month if you want it to. It's fantastic. It's no one else is doing it this way. It's human, it's results orientated, and you'll see a huge level of engagement with this. So do it. I want to see the results. Crack on with it.